Hey friends, welcome back to my channel Code with Roy. Today we'll be doing some hands-on work. In our previous video, we have learned all this about Ollama. Means it was a huge video for Ollama. If you haven't gone through it, please go through that video first and then come back to this video. So today we'll be doing this last part, how to use Ollama programmatically. Till now we have already learned about Ollama, the key features, how Ollama works, and how to install and set up Ollama. So till here we have completed in our last video, and today we'll be going to see how can we use Ollama programmatically. So again we'll be doing Spring Boot programming with Spring AI. So let's dive in. So to do the programming, we need one dependency. So this is the same old existing project where I am keep adding new features. So for that Ollama, let me see the dependency which we need. Ollama. Yep, this dependency we need. So I'll be showing you two different ways to invoke Ollama from our programming. And along with normal Spring Boot dependencies, you will need to add this particular dependency, Spring AI Ollama Spring Boot Starter. Okay, so on the existing dependencies, just add this particular dependency and then come back to application.properties. Application.properties, basically you can add it here and use it, the Ollama base URL and Ollama model. Better to add it in application.properties and then use it, or else you can directly use it in the program. But overall, there is uh, no new things need to be added here at this point in application.properties just to invoke Ollama. So let's go back to the controller. So this is the controller, uh, AI controller. So I'll be explaining two different ways. One is this one, and second endpoint is this one. So two different endpoints. The implementation is different. First, let's go through this endpoint. Generate through local LLM. So this is the endpoint URL I have given. So it will be localhost 9292, then API v1 generate through local LLM, and we are passing that prompt as a parameter. It's a get call, so we are passing that prompt message as a parameter, and then we have a Ollama service. So this is where we have written the Ollama service, and then we are calling this generate result. So all the implementation inside this service method. So now I said two different ways I'll be explaining. So the first way is using Ollama chat model. So this Ollama chat model is coming from the dependency what we have added here. So we need to add this Ollama chat model. Then we don't need these two at this point, means these are for the second implementation. So at this point, you just need to add Ollama chat model dependency here. I have auto add that, and then this is the method generate result. So what we are doing, we have called this generate results and pass the prompt which you are getting from the front end, and what we are doing here is we are using this chat model and we are calling a call method inside the chat model object. So we are calling chat model dot call. What we are doing, we have to pass a new prompt inside that call. That's it. So now we are generating the prompt here inside a new prompt. What we are how to create that prompt. So if you go to this prompt method, you will see we can pass a content, that is the prompt itself, and then chat options. So we have passed the prompt, and this is the chat option. Basically, chat options nothing but Ollama options dot create with model. So this is the chat option actually we are passing. So inside the chat option, we are passing the model details. So let's see first what all models are available. So in command prompt, I will write Ollama list, and it will show me what all models are available for me, means what all models are installed in my machine. So I'll be using this Llama 3.2 3 billion parameter model. So this is what I have passed it. If we pass a different model, then I have to install that model first, because otherwise it won't work. So if you want to change the model, make sure you install that model first by typing Ollama run that model name. So it will install that model, or Ollama pool. Uh, Once you install the model in your local machine, then you can use that model. So this is it at this point. We are calling this is very simple actually, this implementation. We just need this dependency, Ollama chat model, and then we are calling Ollama chat model dot call. We are passing a prompt. Prompt is created with two parameters. One is a prompt, which is basically the text message, and the second one is the model description. And then what we are doing, we are getting a response back, chat response, which is a type of chat response. This is a Spring AI object, because we are using Spring AI. So this chat response, if you see, it's coming from ORG Spring Framework AI chat model, chat response. So this is coming from the Spring AI dependency. And then we are retrieving the content of that response by response.getResult.getOutput.getContent, and then it will be returning back that response. So this is basically nothing but a string response. Finally we are getting, and that will be coming back to the controller here, and it will be returning back to the calling method. Whoever is calling this endpoint, it will return that response back to that calling method. So let's first test this particular scenario. See the endpoint here again, generate through local LLM. So this is my endpoint, generate through local LLM. Let's change the question, difference between Java and Python. Difference between Java and Python. So if you see, I'm running on localhost 9292. This is the endpoint. I'm passing a prompt message. This prompt message is nothing but this prompt message, and it will be passed to the service call. Now let's hit. Wow. Because I haven't run my application. So I need to run the application first. It will take few seconds to run the application. Yep, I think my application is running. Yes, now my application is running. I'll go back to the postman and then I'll hit this. It will take some time because it's processing through Ollama in my local machine, and this, since this is local machine, it will take time. I got an error. What is it saying? IO error on post request, chat timeout. Okay, so it's taking too much time and it's giving me a timeout error. I probably need to change the request because it's taking too much time. So I have to basically configure the timeout parameter to wait for longer because HTTP request won't wait for longer time. So either I change that or I can change the prompt. Let's see if changing prompt will help or not. It's not helping me out. I have to check why it's not respond. So it's a read timeout. So it's basically it's taking too much time to generate a response, Ollama. And this happens because this is running in my local machine and it will slow the machine because it's running those LLM models in locally, and I have to take care of this issue later on. Let's see. I actually configured a web client configuration to handle this read timeout. Okay, so let's see if we can get any help out of this configuration. So just to resolve this issue, I have added a web client config inside the config folder. This is to increase the timeout parameters for HTTP call. So I have connect timeout parameters is huge, but I will do maybe 30,000. Uh, sorry, I'll do 3,000. Let's see. I'll do 3,000 or I'll do 30,000. Let's see. If I change this read timeout and write timeout parameters. So this is just to support more time for the HTTP calls. I have added this web client config. This is a simple code where I'm defining the timeout parameters, connect timeout, and then read timeout and write timeout. I have to build this project and then I have to run it again. So application is good. It's not any fault from the application, but since Ollama is taking too much time to generate the response, it is timing out. The program is timing out. So I'll try again. Okay, application started. Let's try again. Your response. Let's see if it is making any help or not. Now it is waiting. No, it's not waiting. Somehow it's not waiting. It's erroring out after certain seconds, maybe 10 seconds or so after it's erroring out. So I have to think of a solution to increase the timeout until unless I won't get any response back. And meanwhile, let's see the second implementation. So the second implementation is correct. So it was working before, and all of a sudden now it started taking more time, and now it's not working, means it's getting timeout. So the second implementation is basically the second endpoint I have created, and I am calling service and calling service.chat. So here I have used a REST template instead of calling this Ollama chat model. I am using a REST template, and for that we don't need any dependencies. Just for this implementation, we don't need any dependencies. We just need to create a REST template, and we have defined the local Ollama URL. So local Ollama URL is nothing but HTTP localhost. It runs on a default port 11,434 port, and then this is the endpoint API chat. So this chat is doing nothing. We are passing the prompt, uh, whatever we are passing from the caller service means here if you see we have passed that prompt as a get parameter, and then we have used that prompt and we have created a request. So let's see this request. So we have created a request here. So request is nothing but a record. So it's not a class. If you see, this is a new implementation of a newer type of class which called record, where we don't need all the implementation of a class. It's just kind of a model where it handles immutable configurations of the model. So this is a record, public record Ollama request. We need to pass a model and the message here, and then we created that request. So we use that model which is already installed, and then we pass that message as a message here. Means we can pass a list of messages. So I just passed one message as a role user, and this is a prompt message. Then I needed to change it as a non-stream, so I created this payload. So this payload is nothing but whatever model I have created, I just mark it like, model value is a model, whatever model we have in the request, and then whatever message we have in the request, I have passed that as a message, and then stream I marked as false. So then I have created this map payload, and then I have used the REST template which I have created in top, and in REST template I made this call post for object. Post for object, I have to pass that Ollama URL. So this is the local Ollama URL, means endpoint, and then this payload which I just have created out of the uh, request, Ollama request payload, and then we have to pass this response.class. So let's see this response. This is nothing but another record where we are having two parameters as an argument, model and message. So this is it. We are calling basically REST template and getting a response back. So now if response is not null, we are getting the response.message.content. If you see, this response has a message in it. So message in it, and then we are getting that message.content. So message has two things, role and content. So this content is basically a string. So we are getting this message.content which will be returning this string, this content string. So we are calling response.message.content if the response is not null, else will be showing that no response from Ollama. Let's try to run this particular endpoint and see if we are getting a response back. So this is the second endpoint where we are passing the prompt. This is that endpoint. If you see API v1 chat Ollama, this is API v1 chat Ollama, and we are passing the message who is Indian president. Let's see if we get any response back. Now it's all of a sudden started taking more time, and that's why it's timing out. I'm guessing this will also time out. It's taking too much time. I probably have to restart my machine to see some success message. Wow, finally it's waited, and then finally it showed the response back. So if you see, this is coming from Ollama. The current president of India is Draupadi Murmu. She took office on July 2012. This is old data because I'm using locally. The LLM is not getting updated, and it will keep giving. It might be giving old data, so we have to keep updating our LLMs in locally when we are using Ollama. But overall thing, this is how it works. Uh, Means both implementations are correct. This implementation is giving timeout at this point, and probably I have to restart my machine to freshly uh, use the calls. Means now it's taking too much time, and since this is in local machine, right, it will keep behaving like that, and that's why these are not feasible actually, but these are good for practice purpose to use Ollama locally, but in real-time solutions this won't work out, so then we have to go to cloud services. But just to show you how programmatically we can use Ollama, these are the programs I have written and I have showed you. So you can write it simply by understanding whatever I have done. And at some point of time when this overall project will be completed, I'll try to upload it into GitHub and I'll share the URL of this project so you can get each and everything out of this project. So today's video, we are going to end it over here, but the same request I'm going to do again. Please subscribe my channel so I can keep doing these kind of videos and provide you more informations. I hope you like this video and you gain some knowledge. And if you gain some knowledge, please subscribe and then share the videos to your friends. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.